Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I have earned a new platinum, which means I have a new video for you guys. And here we are. Some of you might be able to tell by the title, but today we will be talking about the Klonoa Phantasy Reverie Series. Now, for those that are unaware, this is a compilation that features remasters of the original two Klonoa games from PlayStation. Those being Klonoa Door to Phantomile, originally released on the PS1, and Klonoa 2 Lunatea's Veil, originally released on the PS2. But what exactly is a Klonoa game? See, Klonoa is a platformer series created by Namco, and the games are relatively simple, seeing as you only have two buttons to worry about. You can either jump or shoot out wind bullets using Klonoa's ring. The wind ring allows you to pick up enemies in this game, which can afterwards either be used as a double jump or shot to inflict damage to enemies, toggle switches, interact with things in the environment, and more. Despite the simple controls, however, the challenge in these games come from the various mechanics that get introduced over the course of your adventure. Now, for me, a big reason why I wanted to pursue this platinum was because I've played Klonoa games in the past, and I remember having a lot of fun with them as a kid. So I wanted to experience the nostalgia of playing these games again and also see if they still hold up as being fun games to this day. And now that we know a little bit more about the game, let's move on to the platinum and talk about what will be required of us to earn this trophy. All right, everyone. So here we have the trophy list. And as you can see, it's really not a difficult platinum at all. There are 25 trophies total, including the platinum, and about half belong to each game. So from here at the top, Gadius's puppet, all the way down to Hero of Phantomile at the bottom, those all cover Klonoa 1. And then moving on, from Defender of Tranquility all the way to the bottom, My Sweetheart, those all cover Klonoa 2. And now when looking at the trophies, we see that Gadius's puppet says defeat, the next one defeat, the next one defeat, the next one defeat. So, clearly all of these have to deal with defeating the game's bosses. And then moving on toward the bottom, we see these down here: Hero of Breezegill, Hero of Forlock, Hero of Jugpot. They all mention freeing residents. So if it sounds like they could be collectible trophies, they are exactly what they sound like. These are collectible trophies. And then lastly, for Klonoa 1, we see Baloo's Tears, which mentions completing an extra vision. And this is pretty much just an extra stage, which this game calls visions, that can only be unlocked after having freed all of the residents in this game. So this will be the last trophy that's earned as part of Klonoa 1. And moving on to Klonoa 2, we see a lot of the same: defeat, 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 defeat. So clearly, they all, once again, refer to defeating a specific boss. And then at the bottom, we see we have to collect and collect. So only 2 collectible trophies. And then lastly, complete the Chamber of Fun, complete the Chamber of Horrors. And you can probably guess what those are already. Just like the extra vision in Klonoa 1, they're just 2 extra challenges that can be unlocked by getting all of the dolls in the game. And after completing the Chamber of Fun at the Chamber of Horrors at the end, that will be when you also pop the desired platinum. And speaking of which, now that we've just taken a look at the platinum and everything we'll need to do, let's finally take a look at the journey and see how it all unfolds. But before that, if you're enjoying this video and want to see more content just like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, follow me on Twitch, link below, if you ever want to see me go for the platinums I talk about in these videos. Now, with that being said, let's take a look at the journey. First things first, I start off with Klonoa 1, and immediately begin a new game on normal. Now, we could have chosen easy and had unlimited lives and more health, since difficulty doesn't affect trophies, but that would have eliminated the challenge from an already easy platinum. And personally, I actually like to feel some level of challenge when I play games. But anyway, we start up the game on normal and focus on playing through the first vision while freeing up all of the residents. As we saw when talking about the platinum, a large chunk of the trophies will be me just having to play through the game as normal while making sure to grab all collectibles before moving on to the next vision. There were only a handful of times towards the start of the game where I would miss a resident and have to replay the level again to find it, but for pretty much the whole game, I was able to find all collectibles in a vision on the first go. As long as you explore thoroughly and visit the areas you haven't visited, then you'll be fine. So after completing 1-1 and making it to the end of 1-2, this leads us to our first boss and first trophy for defeating Rongo Lango. The rest of the game is structured pretty much exactly the same way. You play 2 visions before having to fight a boss at the end of the second vision. So after having defeated Rongo Lango, we moved on to the next 2 visions and freed all residents before having to face off against Evil Seedoff and Evil Pamela.
Let me guess, air bubbles. Got him. Perfect.
Then, in similar fashion, we beat 2 more visions and faced off against the third boss, Gelg Balm.
Nice.
At this point, we finally unlock a different trophy that isn't one for defeating a boss. We unlock Hero of Forlock for freeing all residents within this world.
Yes, sir.
Next, we head back to Breezegale for Vision 4-1. And after freeing up all of the residents here, we get Hero of Breezegale.
All right, so we beat the vision.
Then, we wrap up 4-2 and earn ourselves the trophy for defeating Balladium, as well as the trophy for freeing up all the residents in Jugpot. This leads us to do Visions 5-1 and 5-2, which we wrap up, earning ourselves the trophy for defeating Joka and the trophy for freeing up the residents of Coronia.
There it is, Hero of Coronia.
Now, after some cutscenes, we uncover the final area of the game and then move on to play the last 2 visions, 6-1 and 6-2. We free up everybody here, move on to face the boss, and then afterwards we get a satisfying sequence of watching 3 back-to-back trophies pop. The Dark King, Hero of Crest, and Hero of Phantomile. So with all residents and visions out of the way, this leads us to one final fight before completing the story and beating Klonoa 1. After the fight is said and done, we unlock Nightmare Crystal. Now, we're left with one more challenge before moving on to Klonoa 2, the Extra Vision. This is definitely the most challenging vision up to this point, but the game is very generous and gives the players plenty of lives throughout the level to get through it. Once you climb to the top of the tower, we're awarded with Baloo's Tears and can move on to the second game in the compilation, Klonoa 2, Lunatea's Veil. Despite the new look for our titular hero, this game has the same structure and controls as the previous game. You go vision to vision, finding and collecting a new set of 6 items before ultimately being faced with a boss. So just like in the last game, we start up a new save file on normal and head off to complete our adventure. After some brief cutscenes and tutorials, we get past the first 2 visions, making sure to collect all 6 doll pieces in each. And then we face off against Fulgarin, the Armor Beast, earning ourselves the first trophy in Klonoa 2.
There we go. Defender of Tranquility. Trophy unlocked. Very nice.
As you might expect, We get through another 2 visions, doing the same until this time we're faced with Lapido the Flower Clown. We defeat him, earn our trophy, and move on to the next kingdom, Volk. At the end of the second Volk level, we earn ourselves the first of the 2 collectible trophies for having collected 6 dolls. Immediately after, we earn another trophy for having defeated the third boss, Mobile Tank Biskarsh. Next, we have to complete 4 visions instead of the usual 2 before being faced with another boss. But after completing them and making our way to the end of the Mira Mira Kingdom, we're introduced to our next opponent. We make quick work of Palante the Hatchling, earn ourselves another trophy, and then move on. After 3 visions this time, still collecting all dolls in each, we now face the penultimate boss of this game, Cursed Leorina. After a quick fight, we earn our trophy and move on. The final area of the game opens up to us now, just like before, and along with it comes the final 3 visions before the last boss. This means that the next trophy we find ourselves unlocking is My Sweetheart for having collected all of the dolls. Once again, with all of the dolls out of the way and all of the visions completed, we're able to move on to the final boss, the King of Sorrow. After arguably one of the easiest boss fights in the game, we defeat the king, earn our trophy, and roll the credits on Klonoa 2. But before we're able to wrap up, we have to load up our save file and jump back in one more time so that we can complete the 2 challenge levels, the Chamber of Fun and the Chamber of Horrors. Luckily, any deaths here don't count towards your total life count, so you're able to try again indefinitely until you make it to the end. The levels themselves aren't too difficult, but it's nice to not have the added pressure of potentially having to start from the beginning if you die too many times. First, we complete the Chamber of Fun, earn our trophy, and then we move on to the final obstacle between us and the Platinum. After 7.5 minutes, we complete the Chamber of Horrors, earn the trophy for doing so, and then also earn the Platinum and the title of the Dream Traveler. This game also features the ability to import your PS4 save into the PS5 version. So because the game wasn't all that long or too difficult to complete, I imported my save and then I quickly grabbed the Platinum on the PS5 version as well. All it took was defeating all the bosses in both games again via time attack, completing all 3 of the already unlocked extra visions, and then quickly replaying Klonoa 1 on a fresh file for all of the collectible trophies. For Klonoa 2, the collectible trophies auto-pop thankfully, so you're only required to replay Klonoa 1. And it's really not as bad as it might sound. In the end, while skipping all cutscenes, the PS5 version only took me a couple of hours to get done. Both Platinums weren't a huge time commitment, which was nice because if you've seen my last video, a lot of the games I've been completing as of late have been more involved in terms of time and effort required. Overall, the games were very enjoyable and relaxing to play since they weren't all too challenging. If you're looking for a fun platformer, then I definitely recommend you give this compilation a look. Even if you're someone looking for something with a challenge, after beating each game once, you unlock the hard difficulty, which requires you to beat the visions and bosses with no hits. So there's definitely something for every skill level here. But there you have it, everyone. Platinum 58 and 59 is in the books, and now we're on to the next game that catches my attention. So if you're new to the channel and want to know what that game will be, make sure you go and follow me on Twitch. Otherwise, subscribe down below and just stay tuned for the next video. My name is WalkingSaint. Peace.